3, 2.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Stories from the Unbound Shores. Due to a lot of life happening on the weekends lately, it's been about a month since our last session, so I'm going to do my best to recap this as detailed as possible, but I'm likely to have forgotten or misplaced some things. In the last session, the group had stumbled across a man nearly passed out on the ground in pretty much the middle of nowhere, suffering from extreme amounts of exhaustion. And after some efforts to determine what was ailing him and see if they had other means for reviving him, they gave him one of their special potions of long rest that the party had received from Bahamut some time ago, which restored him to,
half
at least
functional.
Yeah, partially functioning at the very least. And so, questions ensued about what happened, and they found that this condition was mostly self-inflicted out of fear of some coming threat.
Plus or minus lust for power.
Yes, that too. And as a reward for, or just in thanks for having been revived, he offered up a lead to a artifact that he believes lies lost not too far from here. But seeing as they are on a timetable to deal with the Death Knight, they have decided to continue on to the village and hope that their newfound acquaintance can rest there, and so that they can continue on to the fortress and confront Atlas when he returns. I think that sums it up. Does anyone else remember anything I'm forgetting?
I mean, I think the very beginning of last session was us successfully routing the drow and driders and making them run instead of finish trying to kill us, but...
Quite possible. I don't remember if that was the end of last session or the one before that. But yes, that is what happened before this.
I think we finished it on the last session. So I just wanted to make sure that it was made known that we are awesome at avoiding combat.
How much are we really avoided? We avoided murder.
That's why I said sort of. We're okay at avoiding combat and reasonably good at avoiding murder.
And, we definitely turned some heads. I'm not going to say changed some minds, but we turned some heads in that fight.
They went, what? Okay, anyway. Some more serious times. We are heading toward the gnomish village.
Careful.
All right.
Pokemon's going to come out at us.
I'm walking the tall grass. We'll be
I
fine.
am?
Oh, shoot, you are.
Dude.
Anyway. A wild Sproink appeared.
Spoink. I murder it.
A wild skeleton appears.
I murder that too. I'll use my turn.
Probably could.
I'll use my turn undead and see if it destroys it.
If you want to, go for it.
Oh, sweet. Hold on. I need to remember how to roll that shit. I never
I think
used
it's a
turn
saving.
undead.
I think it's a saving throw.
Could be.
Just in a radius from you.
Oh my gosh. Where's my character? Me. Me. Characters. Don't have my character sheet open. I
Should have
thought I
gone
did.
with Phantump. Phantump would have been so much more appropriate.
It's not Eskel. Who is it?
What?
Roland. Where's Roland? There's Roland.
Roll. Oh my god. You guys need to stop me today.
Stop. Channel, turn undead. As an action. No, stop. You present your holy symbol and speak a prayer, censuring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw DC 15.
Alright.
If the creature fails, it is turned.
What CR creatures do you destroy?
I destroy... Do I destroy? Where's destroy undead? It's not listed in the same description.
It's because it's a later feature. It doesn't
It's not
destroy
under
undead.
actions. I have to go to features.
Sorry.
Preserve life. Destroy undead. When an undead fails its saving throw against your turn, it is destroyed if its CR is lower than the threshold for your level. Tell me what that is. What level am I? I am 9, which means it is CR 1 or lower.
Then, yep. Poof.
Yay! The power of Illustray compels you.
Oh my god.
Roll and use turn undead. It's super effective.
Now I've got the FF7 victory music playing in my head. No, that's FF8.
Aw, damn.
FF7 was just... Yeah, it was the after fanfare, after the fanfare. It was hard. It's hard. It's really fast.
Oh, okay, I remember now.
Whoopsie.
Why do I know the 8 battle?
Because it was the same in 9, I think.
I haven't played either of those.
It was probably a holdover from one of the earlier. Or like, they were shameless about reusing stuff from other games.
You know, it might have been the very first one too.
Might have been. I don't remember.
About it.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from Pokemon and Final Fantasy VII.
Are we though? All right, I destroyed a skeleton, guys. It's probably a CR 1/4.
What'd you say?
Thomas said something.
What?
What'd you say, Thomas?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, what'd you say? I want to know.
Everything matters.
You said moving on. I said to Olden Sphere.
Oh no.
Why'd you fall down?
He gets
Yeah.
knocked
I
down, but
wonder
he
if I
gets
still
up
fall
again.
Sideways.
And what was that question? Like that statement about CR, Tristan?
I said it was probably CR 1/4, so I destroyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
Still fall sideways.
it's either 1/4 or 1/2, because I know zombie is one tier below it at either 1/4 or 1/8.
Oh no.
Okay.
I've
So
fallen and I
moving to
cannot
the
get up.
northwest.
Indeed.
Thinks Melisari, having no idea whether she's actually right.
So,
She says nothing.
can I get Melisari and
Oh dear.
Aurelion to make some history checks?
Some. A few.
Like, well, one each, but like, I guess I was doing the plural because it's both of you making a check each.
Indeed.
Oh, for Christ's sake. That's a 4.
Nice.
I rolled
I
a
am
1.
currently digging out die because I always forget to do that until I need them.
And please check to see if you're exhausted.
Dice.
I think I got a rest. Didn't we? We did.
I mean,
No.
not
It doesn't
I don't
matter for me.
remember.
not since fighting the drow.
Oh, but I took the potion of long rest. That's how I got a long rest.
Well, I
Okay.
rolled a 1 on die, so like I could roll another one to see if I get lower than that.
You're good. Pat.
Is it essential that I get out all the dice that I need for the session before I roll the d20s that I have already found? Essential.
And yeah, because you had taken the potion and then abstained from taking an additional rest because you wanted to save your
Yes.
rolls because one of them was a crit, right?
My free crit. I can't remember if I used that one. I'm gonna go look.
I don't think you have.
I used the 13. Okay, I guess I can roll now. Run out of excuses. I've not run out of excuses. I dropped them on the ground. I mean, I guess I didn't drop all of them. I could roll another one. Total of... You said history, right? 26.
Okay.
I rolled 18 on die. What do you want from me?
That's a lot. Oh wait, you also have keen mind, don't you?
I do.
So then that check was pointless regardless.
God damn it, you wasted one of my good rolls.
Sorry. Then Melisari will recall that while the golems have been destroyed, they still have other constructs.
The shield made. The shield made.
Yeah.
The shieldy rollies. Oh.
And they didn't take Connie the last time a drow
Yeah.
stepped over their border.
Nobody told Roland this.
Yeah. I mean, when we get close, I'll bring it up. It'll occur to me, probably. Probably.
I mean, that's what the history check was for mostly. But
I wonder if I can, like, dimension door them in. Like, I wonder... I'm not going to cause that kind of panic. That could cause chaos, and I'm not going to take the risk.
A satanic kind of panic.
Indeed.
Don't put my mustache at risk.
Oh, you've just given me a temptation.
To put the mustache at risk?
Indeed. Anyway, are we on approach now?
Yes. This is more or less the last problem to deal with before you guys make it to the village.
Okay. Well, as we approach and I recognize the scenery, I will go, oh, hold on, Roland.
Yes.
You may need to wait here a moment.
Is there a problem?
Or perhaps a little longer than a moment.
Yeah, is a problem.
Where the shield things were, was there like a little indicator there was a very small crack?
There was no indication. I think someone had detect magic up.
Yeah, I know I did, but I feel like I then became aware of a small crack in the rock. But anyway, no point in worrying. I will point to roughly the area I recall them being and say, within the cliff, the rock face along this line here, there are shield golems of a sort that have a tendency to attack unwanted outsiders, specifically drow. We went in with Eskel, no problem, but that was primarily because we sent someone ahead who told them of our exploits.
We most certainly did not go in with Eskel, no problem.
I meant after. Dude, after sending someone in to inform them of the situation,
Uh-huh.
we entered the village with him. Regardless, that is how I'm telling this story. Because she is not considering what happened before it, just that the end effect was that we went into the gnomish village and they accepted him.
You should make a deception check. It's not going to make a big difference.
Do I need to?
Yeah.
Is this just something that she's not concerned with? She's not, trying to be hiding it or anything.
You are misrepresenting things, and so you are deceiving, so deception.
I'm... Okay, sure. 13.
Right. I rolled very poorly on my sense motive, my insight. With my terrible insight, I got, just only a 10. Okay. So I will wait here. And you will have them let me past these golems.
Correct. Would you like someone to wait with you? Perhaps it would be wise, just in case.
I mean, perhaps this man, who has never been here before either, needs to wait with me too. If we accidentally are not welcome and the golems activate, he is in no condition to defend himself.
So long as you stay back here, and I know there was like a fork and like a raised area. I'm gonna just point back toward the fork, the point at which it forks before the thing. Okay, so there are 3 paths. The one going toward the gnomish village, directly across from that, the little point where the 2 other forks meet. That's where I am suggesting they stay. That's what I am gesturing to. It's weird, like, just not having a map to point at.
Sorry, I hadn't thought about this till we kind of started on it.
It's fine.
I could open up my Roll20 account, see if I can find where the old one was.
It's fine. Anyway, okay, then, Aurelian, would you like to come in with me or wait out here with them? Just in case.
I'll wait here.
Okay.
Keep an eye on these two.
Then I will stride forth to the gnomish village area.
Alright.
I am in a tree. Or I would like to be in a tree. It won't let me be in a tree.
Alright. I was just checking a thing. But I probably won't need it, so let's move on. Alright, and so was Aurelion staying behind as well?
Yeah.
I thought I heard that, just want to be sure. So, You three, and presumably Horse, stay behind while Malsari goes on ahead.
Oh my god, horse.
Actually, maybe it would be good. Well, I guess I'm not really riding the horse. Anyway. I was thinking maybe it'd be faster to lend me the horse to ride it in, but it occurs to me that we would then have to unpack most of our stuff, and that would probably take more time than just walking.
Only if you didn't want to, like, awkwardly lay upon all the stuff that's up there.
Were we intending to take a long rest after we come close to the place?
I mean, I figured that we would do it after we did the wind walk all the way up to the
Yeah, that's what I mean.
place.
If I recall, I think there were kind of discussions for both sides, just depending on whether or not you could get the wind walk after if you rested here.
Well, then, presuming there is a long rest in my nearest future, I'm in a domestic door closer to the gnomish village.
Domestic door.
Shut up. Dimension door. I will do so to a point. Short.
This is a domestic door, not a foreign door.
I hate you. I am dimension dooring to a location near the entrance of the gnomish village, and coming in approximately 10 feet off the ground to avoid bumping into someone. And
The
hopefully
wood for
Okay.
this door was
crash into
sourced
someone.
domestically.
I hate you. It most certainly was not, I'm certain. Certainly, sir.
Alright. Oh boy. Alrighty. Trying to remember. Is there a way for me to split who's on what screen out? Yeah, there is. So just have you move yourself. Well, it probably makes sense, most sense to move everybody for camera purposes. So, boards. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. That, maybe? Go to board. No, that was the improved version I was working on that I had a far too flat.
Too flat.
So...
My cat is staring at me. It's very
Uh.
unsettling.
Duh.
Um... I guess I deleted it. Fun.
Oh,
Guess we have to use the improved version that's all flat.
Well, the work in progress, improved, air quotes, version. Just double check, make sure I haven't missed it. Nope, don't see it in there. Awesome. Alright, well, I guess this will do.
Good enough.
muted
Good
myself.
enough.
Well, what session number is this? It occurs to me that maybe I should start marking my notes with that so I can go back as needed.
64.
This is 64. Alright, now I need to remember how to actually get people onto the board. Players. Assign players to this board. Boop.
Boink.
Boop, boop, boop.
Anyway. Oh. What?
his aid door.
This is different.
Yes, because as I just said, I apparently deleted the old one.
Ah, I see.
I like that the old one was the better one.
I will.
Well, that's because
pretend
it was the
is
one that.
floppy.
Yeah, I just kind of been making it flat to get an idea of not flat, but like filled in to get an idea of space.
Yeah.
And then, oh well.
Anyways, I will.
So if you'll do me a favor and imagine a bit swampier and a bit hillier.
Yes. I suppose I will. What time of day is it at this point?
I
Still should be
think by the time
pretty
you guys
early.
get to like the split off point, it's like 4 o'clock.
Afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And it wasn't that far beyond there, seeing as Al was able to make it there and back in not too long.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna seek out Nyx first.
Alright. Her building was the one in the middle.
Okay. I approach, and I knock on the door.
Alright.
This is me knocking, as
Yep.
opposed to trying to open it.
I'm just gonna go dig out a gnome because the last time you guys were here, we weren't like a. Well, yeah. I need a different thing. It's like I think the first time you guys were here, it's like when we transitioned, because I remember both your like Tailspire and Roll20 maps.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Let's see here. Gnome. All right. You'll hear. Yes, it was there.
It's
Natu-
Melisari.
Oh, 1 moment. She'll quickly come over to the door and step out.
Good to
What
see
can
you, Nyx.
I do for you?
Well, we have returned to rest and hopefully gain the aid of Ira in getting us to the Forgotten Fortress. Yes, Forgotten Fortress. In swift time as we're approaching when the Death Knight is to reform. The only problem is Eskel has since had to leave, and well, I don't want to say we've replaced him with another drow, but another drow has joined our party. So certainly we are unable to pass by the shields again, I would suspect, the constructs.
Ah. Huh. Those are getting, I guess, more, well.
They're followers of a goddess who opposes Lolth. As it turns out, there are more than many would expect.
Seems we may need to, update, just what sets those things off.
Well, certainly don't do it at risk to yourselves.
For
There's still plenty of drow who follow Lolth.
Indeed. For now, I'll have to just, take me to wherever it is they're waiting, and I can give them the same mark I gave Eskel.
Of course, and thank you. And there is one more traveler with us. We didn't want to necessarily bring him straight in, wanting to let you vet him first.
Well, I'll take a look at him, and we will see from there.
That's all I can ask. And I'll update, or I will share with her the story of how we met and what he's told us as we walk. I don't really feel like going through all the motions of it, but
Yeah, that's fine. Especially as it was kind of vague, which...
vague and a little complicated.
Yes, as I was trying to spitball something I never had quite complete because things went a bit differently than expected.
I know.
I guess what I will insist, or I guess what I will make sure that I tell her is that we're uncertain exactly the identity of the celestial he made his pact with, but he did say that he was at least aiming for someone related to Corellin, and I am quite confident that he was not lying, at least not intentionally.
Well, we'll probably let him at least get back on his feet. He could probably use some outsiders at this point.
Oh,
We've been cut off for too long, and now with our stronger defenses being dismantled for good reason, perhaps trade might be able to strengthen our force of arms.
that seems reasonable.
And she'll walk with you back to where the others are. Let me change maps. Oops. 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 Okay. And that over there. Wrong button.
We are very
Players.
awesome.
Summon players.
Right. I was putting down tokens.
Bloop.
And that is how you make a pie from lizards.
Lizards.
Ah, Miss Melasari, you are returned.
Yes, this is Nyx. She is the leader of the village we spoke of.
He would dip his head to the gnome.
Nix, you may call me Roland.
Nice to meet you. And she'll step forward and kind of hold out a hand for a handshake.
He hesitates only a moment, then kind of smiles a little and reaches down for her tiny hand.
I have not been traveling long with this group, but they tell me that you and your people have been very gracious to them in the past.
Yes, as I've been told, you have to some of ours.
I don't think I specifically told them that Roland was part of the group who helped. The gnome whose name I don't remember and never actually wrote down, like a dumbass.
Well, that makes two of us.
Bummer.
This is my friend, Person Guy Man. He needs help.
Right. I forgot you can see that. I know I gave him a name last time, but I don't remember what it is for the life of me.
For the person traveling with us,
Yeah.
Eric.
Cool.
Pretty sure it's Person Guy Man.
You're not gonna let that go, are you?
No, never. Not as long as I can see it.
Alright, one moment. Can't find the right name.
Under GM tools.
Unique player permissions rename.
Looks like an ellipsis.
Where do you actually see his name? Because I...
Hold tab.
Oh, there it is. Gnome Spellcaster is Nyx, apparently.
Yep. Don't worry, I'll need a punching bag after a person guy man is dead.
Oh dear.
Alright.
Oh, person guy man, I will mourn your loss.
Alright. But in regards to your not having shared, I think, well, perhaps, yeah, I'll let this be up to Tristan, as this is now his character. Whether or not his name was given / remembered by the person he helped. Or if Nyx is just going to have to go off of what Melisari said.
Wait, what?
Would this have been 500 years ago?
Yes, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gnomes
I heard
don't
my
live for 500 years, right?
Well, it wouldn't have been
I
like...
do.
I mean, they do live a very long time, but he doesn't
500
have
to
to...
750. Yeah, it's about 500.
but it doesn't have to be that full
Long-lived
extent.
What?
Like, you could have helped him at any point during those 500.
Hmm. No, I mean, maybe, probably, I don't know. I have a thought that maybe they took these surface names later on. I imagine, maybe I'm wrong, that Roland is a surface name.
It is pulled from Elven name suggestions in the player's handbook, so yes.
So yeah, he might have had a drow name previously.
Would I have any idea of that? That drow might have different names after they come to the surface?
I
Change
know that
names?
part of the party has heard Eskel's drow name because he used it when addressing a group of drow. But I don't think Melisari was in the party at the
I don't
time.
think so.
So, yeah, and neither was Aurelion, so yeah, no one knows.
That's right, we had that fancy rogue before.
Yes. Thenon.
Thenon, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, no. In his backstory, he didn't
Yeah.
use his name.
Nope.
The only person who's likely to have given that information is, well, people are, Roland and Eskel, and neither have done so
Yeah.
in your presence.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not like when a Fraulein or a Ray, they're going to be screaming their names around.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Sure.
for Eskel, he was somebody who
Spoilers.
had escaped drow culture, and so didn't really want that name. Only used it when it seemed like it was going to be useful, like when dealing with another drow. But for Roland, I haven't thought about what his drow name would be, and he's probably not using it just to try and integrate into the surface, even though they've all not really joined any communities other than their own. A hopeful kind of thing to give himself a surface name. Not just because, like, Illustray wouldn't really want for that they would need to change who they are to be on the surface. They should be drow on the surface as they are drow under the surface.
Yep.
But since I was given a character with a surface name, I'm trying to think of when and why it has that surface name.
My lips are so weird.
What?
Nothing. Just complaining about my token again.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, no, actually, especially if it wasn't as far back as when he met Atlas, then he probably did already have the surface name just to make it easier for... So yeah, probably somebody here knows the name Roland for a drow.
Alright.
If he's helped
Well,
here.
What? Oh, like the Wait, no, I'm confused.
In short, she knows the name from the guy that Roland and his group of drow assisted. That gave you guys the armbands and things to help with sunlight sensitivity.
That guy.
So you would have been using the surface name already?
Yeah,
what
if
the
it was,
confusion
yeah.
Okay.
Just because he would have been very, very young 500 years ago, and that was probably around the time he met Atlas and when he started using a surface name. And so, if it was less than that ago, then he was already using the surface name.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so expressing that, he would say,
Well, I am honored to be remembered for good deeds. I did not expect that I would be able to meet with him again, though it was expressed to me by Eskel before he left that this man is here, and I have him to thank for this. And he would hold up the ring.
Yes. It was... He spent quite a bit of time on that.
I am certain that is true. And this gift is of great importance to myself and my people. So, yeah, I will tell him myself, but you should know that any debt that he has felt he owed us for the past is certainly paid.
She'll just nod at that. Alright. And then she'll say, alright, well, if we're going to get going, let's get this done. Bend down, I need to be able to reach your head.
He's going to, like, at first narrow his eyes confused at that, and shrug and kneel down before her.
She'll make a mark in Gnomish on your head that begins to fade rapidly.
Should I worry about this washing off?
No, it should be fine. It should keep our constructs from attacking for, well, the next month or so. After then, the spell wears off.
Probably a good idea.
Melis, do I recall if she warned us about that last time?
You can, since you have perfect memory, you can recall, and no, she didn't, because she wasn't the one that did it.
I thought she was the one who came back with Al.
Didn't think so, but perhaps. Regardless, it hadn't come up.
Hmm. Okay.
And then, I believe we have important business with Ira.
And she'll go over and give the same mark to your traveling companion.
Ooh. Lucky duck.
Is there a reason?
Because it is not just Drow.
It's humans too.
I think it's anyone.
No, we didn't get it. We didn't have any issue getting past. The rest of us didn't anyway.
You guys are racist.
It was very specifically Eskel who triggered it. At any rate, Melisari looks kind of confused and kind of concerned, but says nothing.
Well, it's been a bit, finicky lately.
Oh.
So, better safe than sorry.
Hmm.
Uh,
Concern deepens.
your friend there in the large armor should be fine. It would likely recognize it as a construct.
But
Curious.
But
what if an enemy attacks you with constructs?
well, frankly, we'd be in trouble. But we are working on refining what sets them off and what doesn't. But it takes time.
Yes, I think that I understand why you would be accepting these people into the village then, as they can help strengthen your numbers.
Yes. Well, as long as I'm handing out marks, might as well do one more just to be safe. She says, looking at you, Melisari.
Okay, well, she will bend down then and allow it. Although continuing to look a little confused.
Like I said,
Concerned.
something's been... I don't know, they've been being set off more easily lately. I think it might be, in part, with the change that we had to make with undead around. So perhaps they're having a hard time distinguishing between the living and the dead.
Has there been an increase of undead in the area since we were last here?
Not necessarily an increase, but those constructs now need to defend against more of them as the others are gone.
Fair enough. I forgot what I was going to say else. There was something else I was going to say. Is it possible that... Well, I mean, I suppose you have just told me that you've been tinkering with them. But is it possible they've been tinkered with in any less than savory way?
It's theoretically possible, but now this might not be saying much, but I've never met or heard of anyone else, any other sets of people that know how to work with constructs.
Melisari continues to look thoughtful.
The closest thing I've heard is about something called a printing press over on that island.
Am I familiar with printing press in the sense of, like, book printing and other things like that?
Given your scholarly nature, you can roll for it, but you wouldn't know by default. So I guess history, yeah.
16.
16. Yeah, so actually now I think about it, I think actually the library at Mount Mistal, like the servant there had mentioned this. Actually, now I think about it. So you are at least generally aware of the idea behind it, but no idea how far or close anyone is to actually getting one fully functioning.
But do I know the primary intention, like books versus?
Yeah, for the spreading of knowledge, books and the like.
Printing press, is that similar to those used for books and the like? Using exact words.
Yes, I do believe that's what they're making it for.
Interesting. And applying it to constructs?
No, they have no. Things are leaps and bounds apart, but they're both mechanical in nature, at least in some aspects.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
So that is the closest I've heard of someone creating something similar. Well, chatting's all well and good, but I'd rather do it within the walls.
Yes, indeed. Is Roland actually laying down?
I was told there was going to be another marking. Figured it was for me. 2 layers.
No, I said while I was talking to Malsari.
No, I know.
Like it. Alright. Assuming you guys let her, she will lead you back to the village. Boards. That one. Space. Players. Summon. Any creatures. That one. That one. That one. That one. And when you guys get inside, she'll have Nyx will have someone take Eric to someplace he can rest.
I'm sure Nyx will be happy to give up her home again.
Oh, yeah.
For more strangers to sleep in.
Well, perhaps there are other arrangements this time.
Nyx is still standing in front of her house, too.
Yep.
Oh, yes, she is.
She's not a unique token.
Yeah, no. I hadn't made her unique now.
I do feel like the size comparison between the Tail Spire Gnome and Halfling tokens and the Hero Forge normal size tokens is good. Like, feels accurate.
Yep. And then, of course, you got, Aurelion back there, just looking to smush any gnomes that get in the way.
Mush, 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 mush.
Alrighty. Well, now that we're inside, what is it you need from us?
Well, certainly a place to rest for the night, but
Mm-hmm.
we were hoping to reconnect with Ira and see if she can give us the ability to make our way to the Forgotten Fortress again.
Miss
I did say it's
Melisari,
alright to her. Yes.
we do not need a place to rest for the night. We are still far from our time of needing rest, and we are getting this windwalk from Ira and heading straight to the Forgotten Fortress. We can rest there.
She looks at you slightly wearily, but slowly nods. Indeed.
Well, we do not know. We only know that this Ira will be around this town for at least the next 8 or so hours. That is all we checked on.
Well, yes, the intent was to speak with Ira first.
She may have important things to tend to, and we do not need to be here in her hair, or whatever it is they have.
She kind of just looks at you like, yes. At any rate, if you wouldn't mind leading us or pointing us in the direction of Iron, she'll turn to Roland. Would you like to meet again with I'm
certain he has a name.
Yeah, he has a name, but I think she's just gonna kind of trail off slightly and see if you understand what she's referring to.
Yes, I could spend a few minutes speaking with him. His name was, God, I remember it was,
Alton, or was that the that might have been the Golem crafter.
the guy we smooshed.
The guy we smushed.
He had a name. I remember when I went back and reread it, it was like, this is a much more important sounding name. Oh, gosh. What is it? Yeah, it might have been like Eldon. Yeah, like it might have been like Eldon.
I don't know. I didn't write either of their names, apparently.
Alright,
To
great.
the point. Well, at any rate, I know the names, and I will say the names. And request that Nyx point us in the direction of both him and Ira. Oh, actually, one more thing. Am I in possession of the crystals for the bag of holding?
I think so.
Okay. Well, the Melisari will rummage through her bags. I believe you offered to make us a bag of holding should we obtain rummage these.
Oh, well, that was quick. Yes, give them here.
She'll pass them over and say, yes, we were very graciously gifted them, I suppose. I'm sure there's a better word for it, but I can't think of it right now.
Rewarded?
Yeah. I guess.
Okay.
What are we doing?
I am trying to get this to look the way I want and failing miserably.
That is unfortunate.
So I'm going to try this one last time. About like that. Do that, do that. That will, that'll have to do. All right. And so she will point you in the direction of Ira, who she says is in the back of the village near the mine entrance. If you guys can see that.
Mm-hmm. I
Yes.
can see it, and I was thinking.
They have a mine here?
Apparently.
I mean, they gotta get the metal for those constructs somewhere.
That looks weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to get to where just the top half of her was sticking out of the cyclone, because they're, humanoid top halves and pretty much tornado bottom halves.
Mm-hmm. If Nyx is not joining us, then I will say as we part, thank you as always for your kindness.
You're welcome. She seems distracted.
She is excited about the impending crafting, I suppose.
Yes.
Melisari smiles ever so slightly. Is Ira all alone? Does she appear to be doing things?
Big wind doing things.
I'm trying to grab a thing real quick. She appears to be in negotiations or talks with another gnome from the village. If you guys stand over here, make your presence known.
What is their body language telling me? Are they involved in very serious, intense conversation?
I mean, serious, yes, but I mean, it's but not like tense.
I don't know this arrow until I'm keeping my distance.
I will pause here a moment, and if they show no signs of noticing or offering to include, I will approach somewhat and say, I don't mean to interrupt, but would there be a good time to speak with you, Ira? Do I recognize this other gnome, by the way?
I mean, you've seen him around, but you don't know him by name.
Okay. I will give an apologetic smile to the other gnome.
He was just trying to, well, negotiate for some of the materials that they bring up out of the earth.
I see.
Didn't expect you to be back here anytime soon. But what brings you and your friends here? And there seem to be less of you and different numbers, well, different individuals.
Yes, unfortunately, Eskel and Dirk were called off to war. And we have met another drow of similar inclinations who actually knows the being we are attempting to deal with. I don't remember how much she's aware of our situation.
She's somewhat aware. Enough that she's willing to help, but like, with windwalk and things, but not like flying there to try and
Yeah.
take care of it in person.
Yeah.
That's how you get dead.
Well, it would be a great benefit to us if you would see fit to cast Windwalk on us once more. Hopefully only once more. And of course, I would love another lesson in Elemental if you would. There is an actual name for the Elemental language, isn't there, that she's teaching us?
Orin?
Primordial, I believe.
Primordial, yeah.
He's teaching you the root language?
Yeah, I don't remember if she was teaching us the root or her specific dialect, but
Hers would be Orin if she was teaching that. The root language is primordial.
yeah. If you have the time, of course. I don't want to monopolize your time and efforts.
Now, assuming I can just do off my arrangements here, I can certainly try and teach you something if you're staying here for some time, but if you are needing to leave immediately, then, well, perhaps next time. But though, regardless, the Windwalk I should be able to provide.
Greatly appreciated. And I'll kind of look back at the others.
Though I may need your help with something in the near future.
Oh. Of what nature, if you don't mind me asking ahead of time?
The situation's still resolving itself, but so whether I need you or not is unknown. But
Knowing that I
it's
have
just
your
certainly
support
not.
is important.
What?
Knowing that I have your support is important.
But this is certainly not a requirement. Like, agreeing to help is certainly not a requirement for this. But if you are as successful as you are confident in your current endeavor, then a helping hand would certainly be appreciated.
Melisari will nod thoughtfully. Well, hopefully we are indeed as successful as we are confident.
I am not confident. I am realistic.
I see.
not wish to give anyone false hope. We will do
Well.
our best.
Hopeful, anyway.
Very.
Anyway, so I was gonna turn back to them and kind of wonder why they're still so far away, but
That is a dangerous elemental.
are you saying that?
With my eyes.
Okay. I mean, I'm just keeping respectful distance. But at any rate,
And I'm keeping terrified distance.
she'll turn back and to you guys and ask, what do you think? Should we leave immediately, or do you think there is time for a lesson once Ira is available?
If Ira says that she has time to give a lesson first, then there is time. Our time limit was based on her schedule.
Melisari will nod and
While
turn back
you
to Ira
take your
once more.
lesson, I will go see to Alden, Hilden, Emblem. See.
Does Roland actually remember his name?
I
from
imagine,
long ago?
maybe, probably, yes. He would. I don't. There was something odd.
Well, since I don't remember it either, if you want to name him, go for it.
Well, I already said Eldon, so it's Eldon.
Okay.
I'll probably check my notes later and find out it's correct, so it's fine. Everything's fine. All fine.
Okay. Anyway, Melisari kind of nods back to Roland and says to Ira, well then, after your business concludes, where might I meet you?
There is a small area to the on the west side of the village, where I have been staying most nights. I expect they will be putting you up in a similar, if not the same spot.
Well, I believe our intention is still to leave tonight.
Oh.
Melisari looks somewhat disappointed by this. But anyway, I shall wait for you there then.
Also, all of this is under the assumption that you've... Well, actually, no, because she can cast it herself. So that's how it was working last time. She's talking to these people.
Well, I mean, I could have casted tongues. If she's already using it, then I'm not going to already. Or
Yeah,
not.
she's already using it because she has to talk to the gnomes.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I say I'll wait for her there. And if she makes no immediate comment, then I will turn my attention to the gnome and say, thank you for your patience. I'm sorry for the interruption.
He looks a tad annoyed, but nothing too serious.
And then she returns to the others. Ooh!
Well, too close there.
A little too close, yes.
Personal space.
What?
Personal bubble.
Personal bubble. Indeed. So then would you like me to at least briefly accompany you to meet with Alden?
You are certainly welcome to, Miss Melisari.
I shall. I can explain the situation to him as well.
He nods solemnly.
Away we go then.
Away, away, away.
Anyway. Which way did Nix tell us that Alden would likely be?
We go there.
Let's say over here.
Much back and forth. He should be inside here, is what you were told. Aurelion, if you want to be able to stand up inside, you're gonna need to get out of the armor.
Then I will get out of the armor.
Is the door open when we approach?
Yeah, probably, actually.
Okay, then she'll call in, Alden, are you here?
Upon entering, you'll see a number of gnomes at, like, workbenches with all kinds of different pieces of metal and paper and who knows what strewn around. They seem to be in the middle of making something, or at least working on something. That was not the button I wanted to press. You know, I was there.
Ms. Melikari. What?
You speak up, and you see Roland like kind of taking a breath and open his mouth to speak, and then stops himself as you respond.
I don't know if I noticed this, but I will to say essentially it's Melisari and companions. We have lost a few along the way, but gained one in particular that may be of interest to you.
Oh,
She'll wait.
what happened? Did they give as good as they got?
Not like that. They've been called off to war, so hopefully they're giving better than they're receiving.
See, Roland is raised an eyebrow and is side-eyeing Melisari as she says that.
Which part?
Hopefully they're giving better than they're getting.
I mean,
He didn't say anything. Except with his eyebrows.
And his mustache.
And his dad's stash, quivering ever so slightly.
Wow.
Bristling with indignation. Oh, I don't know.
Double wow.
Alright. And then he'll take a closer look at Roland and be, well, LB, I haven't seen you in a long, long time.
It is good to see you healthy and here.
Same to you. Wasn't sure I'd ever see you again. Glad to see they found you.
Yes, it was certainly an unlikely meeting, with even more unlikely fallout. But I am glad that fate has seen fit to play its hand in this way.
No, sorry, he looks slightly confused at Fallout. Not being exactly certain what you're referring to specifically.
There's no radiation in this world.
I mean, it just implies bad things coming of things, is my understanding.
Maybe. It just means results.
Depends on who dropped the bombs.
Melisari will just briefly excuse herself or make some gesture excusing herself.
Alright.
I came to give my thanks and to square the record. We are even. Your gifts have been distributed to the other drow with whom I was living.
I'm glad to hear that. Are they all doing alright?
We have lost some over the decades, centuries, but we have gained others. The group has failed to grow considerably, but we remain. And now there are more people aware of the existence and the struggle of Illustre and her people. So I am hopeful for the future, even if I may not see a time when my people are accepted widely on the surface. We have set great things in motion. Eskel, who came to see me, I think that he would be instrumental with his connections on this Isle of Heaven. So, all in all, has worked out very well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Sorry for your loss, though.
We grow and adapt.
So, what brought you back here?
Well, as the young lady said, her compatriots were called away on another assignment, and prior to the time that I helped you, that my people helped you survive, we were friends with a man named Atlas, a human who has become this monster that the group here fights now. I thought that I could offer my assistance as a former friend of this person. Find a way to stop whatever he is doing. Maybe correct his mistakes.
Wow, that is quite the task.
It
Hope that
is.
you and your newfound allies, friends, are successful.
Yes. Thank you. I will do my best to help them, and they, I know, are doing their best to see to this Atlas. But I wanted to make sure that since we were coming through here anyway, I had to see you, and to let you know that we are even. Your bracelets, these bands, which allow us to function in sunlight, they will be priceless to my people.
I'm glad they worked. They were difficult to test, so I wasn't entirely sure they would.
Yes. It seems that the young boy was useful in that regard too.
Yes, he was.
I hope that you have a comfortable life here. I'm glad to know that so many years later you, kindly remember that we helped you.
I have no intention of forgetting the face of someone who saved me. And, well, to be fair, elven features don't change much.
You may not, as a gnome, retain the same level of youth. You still look the same to me.
Well, thank you.
It's good to see you again, Edden.
It's good to see you too. And well, we may be even, by your count at least. If there's any way I can help, don't hesitate to ask. I'm sure I can at least find something to ask for in payment if you make me.
Well, actually, something does come to mind that would probably not require a great deal of effort on your part.
Hmm? He raises an eyebrow.
He's going to unsling the quiver and set it on any flat surface between the two of them. And says,
When he sees that, he'll go over to one bench and just kind of sling a bunch of stuff off, presumably one of his older projects.
I'll set it down for him and explain. We received this from the Mage's Tower to the south, and it seems that if we provide it with the proper gemstones, it will gain elemental magic, and it has the ability to accept several more types. And I thought that perhaps, since you live in a town with a stone mine, you may have come upon veins of such ore, such gems.
I. We might have something. He'll begin looking it over. Go. Oh, this is an old piece, but it seems to have actually come from here.
Your people made it?
Well, it's got the mark at least. He'll point to a kind of separate portion of the engravings on the kind of upper rim where the gem slots are.
That is hilariously fitting. Well then, I suspect that you or someone here knows better than anyone how this thing functions, and how its power can be expanded. So, if such is readily available and not difficult to provide or costly, then I think that that would be very helpful.
Alright. And as I also recall, I think you have one gem that could be used for this on you.
You mean that wasn't already in it? Because I know that it had
Yes.
a couple in it.
Yeah, it had I think it had 3 in it, and then you got one from the Bahir lair that needed refining to fit properly.
Oh man, remember that? Okay. Yes, it looks like it has 3 in it, and ones that are not crossed out are amethyst, emerald, and ruby. So I've got fire, thunder, and acid.
Yeah, and the one you picked up should be lightning
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Topaz, the yellow one.
Yep.
Okay, I think I remember picking up a topaz. So yeah, then if I'm the one carrying it, I am, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Then I would pull out this uncut topaz and say, I do believe this is one of the gems. It just needs to be cut.
Got yourself a good specimen here. Might even have some left over for other uses.
That's
Where'd you find
excellent.
some?
You can keep whatever you do not use for this, of course.
Where'd you find something like this?
We were attacked by a rather large creature, and it had a horde. When we
What, some
defeated
sort
it
of
in its
dragon?
lair, well, dragon-like lizard, lightning lizard. My people call it a behir.
Interesting. If you have time, I'd love to hear more about this creature. And, well, the lair especially.
There's plenty left in there. We only took what was reasonable. Just
His eyebrows raised considerably at that.
It's
You
just
wouldn't happen to have a good head for maps, would you?
I would point out that the lair had many eggs in it, and they could hatch. So by the time you get there, it may be once again dangerous. But I can put it on a map for you if you wish to show this at risk.
I might be able to at least send something to attempt retrieval.
I suppose that I should expect that. I will.
He'll go over to a drawer and, get out a map.
I will put a mark on it for him. Say, I believe it was about here. If you look carefully, there will be a large hole. It was dug out by a dragon. It leads directly down on top of a spire of rock. Whatever you send will either need to be capable of flying or have a way of climbing.
I see. Look. You have gotten up to quite some interesting stories, haven't you?
My life was not quite so interesting until recently.
Yeah.
Mostly just keeping that hydra in the river satiated.
Let me pull up the quiver so I can think of what they're likely to have.
But that's all I think Roland wanted to do here. So Aurelion?
There's me.
Have you any thoughts?
Oh, so many. Non-relative. No, wait, no. Is this the person we're thinking of handing the armor over to?
Possibly, yeah.
It's the general set of people, anyways. Whose hands it would end up in, I don't know if you guys had a particular person in mind, but just see if they could do anything with it. Here we go. Quiver of Elemental Infusion. So what he'll say they have on hand, like what they might have on hand, he doesn't know off the top of his head. So they might be able to get their hands on a sapphire and some rose quartz, but trying to get a diamond of that size would be difficult.
Okay.
And, well, pearls you don't really find underground.
What? You just need to get those, land oysters.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.
Okay, I'm just double checking what it says here. I don't seem to have written down its a limitation for how many arrows.
1,000,000 billion.
So I will have to either see if I can find it in my sticky notes somewhere, or make a new one, unless you happen to remember it.
How many arrows I have?
Like how many elemental shots you can get before it needs to charge, basically.
Oh, I think that as long as I didn't shoot
More than I think you had said it was 8 arrows of any given element in a day, then the gem wouldn't wear out.
That sounds about right. I remember it being a formula based off of how many gems in total you had in the thing.
Was that it? Okay, so it might be, it might have been a number equal to the number of gems, so it might be 3 arrows of each gem now, and then if I get more gems, it would go up by that many.
I think it was 2 plus 2 per gem, if I remember correctly, because the goal is to get 20, which should be a full quiver.
Yeah. I mean, given that, it seems to me that I could just switch gems, having 20 of each daily, limited by number of arrows I own, obviously, just still seemed like a lot.
Alright, well, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
So, for now, I'm just not going to worry about it, because with as little time as we have left today, we're not going to get to combat.
Seems that way.
So, you will be able to make the lightning one for you, so I will edit it and remove the strike through for that. And you can basically, basically, you can pick either a usable sapphire or usable quartz, and he can get that working as well.
Okay. So I gain those 3 sapphire,
get-
quartz, and
Well, you get
topaz.
sapphire or quartz and lightning.
Oh, okay. That's more sensible. Let me see.
So you get lightning, and then you can choose between cold and psychic.
Damn, psychic. And this description up here is like the Odaluk's freezing sphere is if I sacrifice the gem, I can do that.
Yeah, and that's you basically focus all of the elemental power of that into the gem like a grenade.
But do they then shoot an arrow, or does it?
I get like you can flavor it how you want.
Uh-huh.
It's because it's a set saving throw DC or I guess a arrow for attack spells.
Uh-huh. I'll put some thought into that and have an answer for you next session, because I think I'll have some questions.
Okay.
About which one I take.
Okay.
But that's all I wanted to accomplish.
Okay. Well, I will uncross off lightning real quick while I remember.
Yep. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
All right. Aurelion, is there anything you want to do in the village here? Like with the armor or anything?
I wanted to. If this person here, I'll just. While I'm here, I'll just say, that suit of armor I was wearing when I came in, I don't know if you'd be interested in that. It's a bit big for my taste. Handy enough, but kind of big.
What's this about a suit of armor? He'll say and kind of walk a little closer to you.
Where did I leave it?
Pretty much just out front.
I'll walk back and I'll open the door. And I'll gesture out. And I'll say, we found this suit of armor, big armor, in that hole with the thing and the other stuff. It's interesting.
He'll hop off his stool and come take a look. This is probably the best I'm going to get for a armor token. Human tools, set size. Yeah. Now that is interesting. How do you move something that big?
Once you tune it, it kind of moves with you.
Yeah. And he'll spend probably the next hour asking a litany of questions, trying to figure out how it works.
You probably will not get a lot of answers.
Well, you'll be able to get. Well, you are able to give some if you like, just from what you know from having attuned it.
Oh yeah, my experience answers, yeah.
So,
It hurts.
hmm. So what do you want to do with it?
Well, we didn't want to leave it in the hole, and I don't particularly want it. It's a bit clunky. We figured somebody might get some use out of it, be it practical or...
Oh, I can certainly make some use of it. Do you want some for it?
What you got?
Well, the ability to make just about anything given enough time, but on hand, you'll start kind of rummaging through things. Let's see. You picks up something, looks kind of like a helmet, looks back at you, doesn't wear armor, tosses it over his shoulder, and keeps rummaging through a chest. You more offense or defense?
Is... Who's near me?
Roland is, and Melisari can be nearby if she wants to be, because she had stepped away to just give
Well, if Roland's
Roland
near,
a
I'll
place.
just kind of glance towards Roland and then glance back, I guess. Offense?
I'm not here. I'm
I,
waiting for my lesson with Ira.
I said you could be there if you wanted to.
You,
But I wouldn't be.
Aurelion, definitely seem to prefer your ability to move about, and you do not seem to appreciate armor on your flesh. So, I would call you offense.
Well,
There you have it.
alright, I can certainly find something that would suit those needs, but if it's just this particular suit that's causing problems, I could probably give it a tune-up, as it were,
Tune
given some time.
like a musical instrument.
Yep, sure, that's a close enough analogy.
Aurelion, does this armor make music?
Not that I've heard.
Just looking quizzically at the gnome.
It just, look it over, see if I can't fix some of its less desirable traits.
Yes, desire. Oh. Right, he just sort of looks back to Aurelion and just, nods a little bit, a little unsure, but still vigorously. Yeah, that makes sense.
But,
Aurelion looks nonplussed.
Which kind?
The appropriate kind.
Surprised?
No, Aurelion just looks a bit confused.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I lose you on that?
Perhaps. I don't want this armor.
Fair enough.
It sounds like it is a generous donation by this group to your village. Hopefully you can use it for your own defense.
If you're looking for something offensive, he says, and he goes, huh, what you got there seems fairly useful as it is. Might be
Maybe
hard
some
to.
potions. You have healing potions? They're always handy.
Yeah, I probably got something. Goes over to a shelf. Yeah. Rushes through, pulls out a few bottles, uncorks one, gives us a sniff, holds it out, ugh, tosses it out the window. Small explosion.
Okay, then.
Here, they should do. Let me look up the levels of healing potion. Let's see. Magic items. Potion of healing. So, he'll give you 2 superior potions of healing.
Where's this now? Inventory.
And what's the other thing I'm looking for? And he'll also give you a potion of fire breath.
Second out. How many of the potions of healing?
You have 2 spring potions of healing and 1 potion of fire breath.
And very useful.
Fire.
Supreme healing potions are very, very good.
Potion.
I'm looking at anything. Alright, so is there anything else, Aurelion?
I don't think so, no.
Alright. So then I'll try to do a bit with Melisari here, and that'll, I believe, be it for the day.
I mean, I think we can probably more or less hand wave the lesson.
Alright.
I gain time in primordial.
Yep.
How are we tabulating that again, by the way?
I believe I borrowed Tristan's system, so that's kind of in 1 hour lesson increments.
You little thief. Good thinking. Yeah, my system is you need certain numbers of hours with a tutor, and it increments, like every 5 reduces the difficulty of an intelligence roll to understand things that are said to you in the language until you're fluent, which requires something like 30 some odd hours. If only it were that easy to learn real world languages.
Right.
But 30 seemed like I think it was something like 30, and it seemed like a manageable but challenging goal for players to make time for. There's a table for it in my games chat. I can go check it. But yeah, that. So, I don't know.
So you can. So do you have any hours marked down on your sheet?
I don't know that I've marked any. I guess I haven't checked my actual character sheet, but I know we had at least 1 lesson previously. I think only 1 lesson, though I don't know how long it lasted.
Alright.
Oh, yep, I do have it noted. 1 hour so far with Ira.
Alright, you can mark down an additional 2 if you're up for 2 hours of lessons.
Sure. It's a long lesson.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1 lesson, then do you need a break, or finish, or it's 1 lesson and then a second lesson after seeing if you want to continue or not.
Let me roll something. What do you think?
I have no idea.
Because there's definitely like a point where you kind of hit some brain drain going, and you're like, I don't think I can fit more information into my head at this time.
That's why 2
Speaking
hours
from
a day is normally the
experience.
limit.
What?
So that's why I think 2 hours a day is normally the limit.
Mine was
Yeah.
3.
Oh, 3.
But yeah, I was. You also have to just take into account, like, how multilingual the world of D&D is, just that most people speak more than 1 language.
Fair enough. I currently speak 5, so maybe I can continue another hour. So long as I'm not taking up too much of everyone else's time.
I don't think there are any races in the player's handbook, at least, that don't start with 2 languages.
Common and something else.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you didn't, in my chart, you don't even start to see dividends on language study until you hit your 5th lesson. So 0 through 4, there's no benefit, no tangible benefit. Once you've hit 5 1-hour lessons, then you get to you now have the privilege of making a DC 20 intelligence roll to understand things said in your presence. Which I think makes sense. You need at least a baseline of lessons before you have more than just like a word here and there.
Mm-hmm. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about how many hours I put into Japanese to still only get clips and not even phrases. On rare occasion, very basic phrases.
I mean, I've been technically studying Japanese for how many years, and now I can have conversations. But it took that long.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can mark down 2 hours because Irrelevant's at least going to be busy talking with the gnome whose name I've forgotten again. E something.
Eldon?
Eldon. I'm talking with Eldon as he's trying to get any and all details about that armor out of him.
Wow. Yeah, the language studying chart is actually the 5th thing that we pinned. First thing that I pinned in my channel was the hand-drawn map of the Beholder's Lair. Then there were 2 funny cat images. Then there was a picture of Cal. And then there was the languages thing.
What were the funny cat images that were so important to actually get pinned? I now have to see.
I think they were the last time we saw Kubriel.
Yeah, one of which became the server's profile picture.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, with that, I believe we are at time for today. Sorry that was kind of short, but there were discussions to be had beforehand. So, next week, we will hopefully have a one shot that we will be able to do. And then take things from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Woo!
So, I hope to see all of you next week. I hope you guys had fun.
Glad that we
Glad we
are
got to
finally
play.
back.
Yeah.
Back. Back.
Back again. Shady's back.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Wait, we need to have a group name so I can say that instead of Shady.
And I've at least got my schedule somewhat back to normal, which is good.
We can be the party formerly known as Eskel.
Eskel was the entire party.
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, what if we're asking Eskel?
I am party. Alright,
What if we're asking Aurelion?
I'm gonna end the stream.
Yep.
Goodbye,
Bye.
stream.
Bye.